Welcome to the FWOT Show on the Coil Entertainment Network. I'm Rob Steele, that's Jesus Jones in the background, and it's time for your irregularly scheduled program that is most reassuring in its claim that this is the show that lets you know that if it feels as though the world has lost its mind, it's not just you, it has. Although we do have some good news. We had some elections this past week, and in Virginia we had a history-making candidate win a seat in the state legislature, and it's an openly transgendered person, so that's a first ever. Yay. Now, I'll be honest, that is the extent to which I am going to cover this story. It was a first. Yay, we're done. What I am more concerned about in my politicians is not what they have in their pants. It's what they have in their head and how they use it to help people, because that is the job of the politician. You can have whatever you want. You know, personally, I'm going to keep my penis where it is. If you want to add one or subtract one, that's your business. But if you're going to be a politician, your job is to help people. I don't care about what's in your pants. It's just not my business. Let's move on to something that's in other people's pants, because this story it keeps getting worse. I don't know how it can keep getting worse, because Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore from the, and I cannot say the great state anymore, from the not even mildly mediocre state of Alabama. Yeah, another sex story out of Alabama. Goody. He has allegations of sexual misconduct against him. And it's not just, ooh, he groped his secretary. It's, hey, this guy was banging 14-year-old girls. Wow. And how he still has a job is, how does that happen? Now, you'd think that would be enough to make everyone go, ooh, hideous. And the story can end there after, he gets fired and sent to prison. But it's not happening. Nearly 40% of Alabama evangelicals said in a new poll that they are more likely to vote for him following the allegations. What the ever-loving fuck is going on in Alabama? How exactly do you get... He was raping children. Oh, let's vote for him. Fuck me. What? You've got to be kidding. But it keeps getting worse and more bizarre. Things like the Republican Party are now boycotting Keurig, the coffee company, because Keurig was a sponsor on Hannity's show on Fox. But once he said that what Moore was doing to the teenage girls was okay, Keurig took a stand against pedophilia. And so the Republican Party is now saying, no, pedophilia is fine? What? And it doesn't get any better. There's a quote that made very little sense to me this week, comes from a guy named Tom Huddleston, who said he's a Republican and he votes Republican. And if the allegations are true, that's bad and he needs to step out of the race. There's no question of that. The problem you have is all of a sudden, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you can't come in 30 days before the election and say, here are some unsubstantiated allegations. It would take so much research and questioning and lie detector tests and whatever to determine whether there's any validity behind it. So doing that is a horrible thing, just like what we did to Hillary in the last election. Did we do it? Because you see, some things people don't understand is Republican is really an anagram of hypocrite. Well, come on, with the way they have education, they probably think it is anyway. Hypocrite. That's like evangelical now, isn't it? But that's not the only politician who's having trouble with little girls this week. Jeff Sessions. No, he's not sleeping with the little girls, but he is being sued by a 12-year-old girl in Colorado who is suffering from epilepsy, and she says millions of other people are suffering from the same thing, which is true, and one of the big cures for it is this drug called marijuana. Now, it's legal in her state. She's suing Jeff Sessions to make it legal nationwide because it helps people. It cures some cancers, for fuck's sake. But we gotta make it illegal because, there is no reason. It's not addictive. No one has ever overdosed on marijuana. And the states where it's been made legal, crime has gone down. Unwanted teen pregnancy has gone down. Illegal drug use has gone down. The wall that's keeping this drug illegal, yeah, that's still up. Why? Because some people just need to have it pounded into their head. I'll go get a brick. Hang on a minute. Tell me if this story makes sense to you, because I don't. I'm just going to change the name of the show to I Don't Get It. Because this is something that makes very little sense, although in a way it's silly. It really is. There was a church, the Providence Baptist Church in Vail, North Carolina, not Colorado. The church was set on fire. No one was hurt. There was significant smoke damage, but the church pastor thinks the vandalism was done by a hate group. The reason he thinks that is someone spray painted on the side of the church anti-gay hate group. Stupidest name ever. I mean, that's the one thing I enjoyed about the X-Men movies. I'm tying it together. Give me a minute. In the books, they were called the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which, yeah, you kind of go, oh, look, it's the bad guys. But they even called themselves bad guys because they know they're bad guys. This is the same concept. They changed it in the X-Men movie. They just can't figure it out in North Carolina, which is odd because the X-Men movies were made by Fox, and that's the only news channel you get in North Carolina, isn't it? So, what the hell? Let's do some lighter news. Let's go to tech, where there's some good news and some bad news and some just flat out weird news. Let's start with your iPhone. Do you have a problem with your iPhone after you updated your iOS operating system to 11.1, where you try to type the letter I and it changes to the letter A? Yeah, that's a thing apparently. Apple goofed. There'll be a fix shortly. Don't panic. The weird news, I suppose, is an app that you can get for your iPhone, and apparently for Android. It's an app to check if your local McDonald's ice cream machine is functional. Because we've had this long-running thing in the country about, I went to McDonald's to get a McFlurry, and the machine was broken again. Well, apparently it's a big enough thing that this app that was originally thought to be a joke, you know what? Apparently it's real. I don't know why. I don't consider McFlurries to be that big a deal, but that's just me. Something that is a big deal. And if you are on the internet, which is how you got this show, hello, you should enjoy this. Something came out Tuesday, November 14th, sometimes called today. At least that's when I'm recording. I don't know when you're listening to this. Firefox has a new browser called Quantum, or version 57, depends on your point of view. Here's the thing that you need to know about this browser. 1, oh my God, it's faster. A lot faster. Now, some of the add-ons are not compatible. I use 2 add-ons. I use an ad blocker. I use my antivirus because it incorporates itself. That's all you need. I went to websites to test this like CNET, which is a great website to go to for tech news. CNET used to take about 5 to 10 seconds to load. Now it takes 1. CNN, with all of its videos, now takes 1 second to load. CBS News, which automatically comes up with a lot of running videos, 2 seconds. The whole thing is right there. This is a much faster browser. And Firefox has always been more secure than Chrome. Switch. Now, it's not quite as pretty as it used to be. The tabs are now squared off instead of rounded. Who cares? The waiting circle that the thing is loading is now a blue Cylon eye thing. It's not there long enough for you to care. Google Hangouts still does not work. Darn. I guess you'll have to keep Chrome too. But for everyday browsing, I'm going to recommend Firefox Quantum. It's free. Now, speaking about fast things and tech, There are some interesting tech things to come out of the car world this week, like Lamborghini, the big fancy supercar company, teaming up with MIT to make a car called the Terzo Millenniano. Now, it's not just the fact that this car looks like a spaceship that's kind of just hovering just above the ground. That's not it. It's not that it goes, 7 or 8 billion miles an hour with independent motors for each wheel. That's not what I care about. What does interest me is the car's body is made out of a carbon fiber that has an electrical system running through it. And if someone goes by and keys your car, the electrical system merges with the carbon fiber and some kind of nanotechnology and fixes the scratch. That's right, a self-healing car. Now, I'm pretty sure if you smash into something, it's not going to fix the engine. But we're getting there. It's a start. Other things we've got this week. Keep an eye out for this one. The Devel 16. It's supposed to be debuting at the Dubai Auto Show sometime this week. It's been in development since 2013, and it's supposed to be the supercar to end all supercars, with 5,000 horsepower and a top speed of over 310 miles an hour. Now, I'm going to be picky about this. The Bugatti Chiron has, I think it's 1,500 horsepower, which is 3,500 less, and it gets up to 290. Do you need another 3,500 horsepower? Like you're going to have a place to drive it at 310 miles an hour anyway? I'm just saying. Nifty thing. Keep an eye out for it. Let's see how much of it is real. Something that is real and already out there are some self-driving buses. Although the one that started off in Vegas got off to a bit of a bumpy start. By bumpy, I mean a truck ran into it. Now, it's not the bus's fault that it was in a wreck. If the truck had the sensors that the bus did, nothing would have happened. So the self-driving buses are fine. It's everybody else you've got to look out for. Two itty-bitty news bits that I want to throw out there. Do you remember Puff Daddy? Or Sean Combs, or Sean Puffy Combs, or however many other names? It's one of those every 6 months he changes his name thing. Well, now he wants to go by Brother Love. Some of you have caught on as to why this is a bad idea. Brother Love is a name that's pretty much already been taken and made famous, and in, I believe, the WWE Hall of Fame, because he was the original manager of The Undertaker. I'm pretty sure that's not the image Puff Daddy is A, going for, or B, could pull off. It doesn't work. Something that does work, though, is the new Barbie doll. Now, bear with me on this also. The new Barbie doll has a hijab. I'm not going to pronounce that correctly. The new Barbie doll wears a hijab. That would be the Islamic headpiece thing. I don't know how to describe it other than that. But you know what? Some people are having a problem with that. Oh no, there's an Islamic Barbie. Well, you know what? There are Islamic women who have Islamic daughters who would like to play with an Islamic Barbie. There's Barbies for everything else. Now there's one for them. I like the idea. Good for them. Otherwise, if you don't want one, don't buy it. Kind of like Adam Sandler DVDs. I have no interest in buying them. Therefore, I don't. If you want to, they're in the $5 bin. Knock yourself out. If you have any comments or questions about the show, contact me through the website, thefwotshow.com, where there's buttons for Facebook and Twitter, or you can email me, rob@thefwotshow.com. But you know what? Go to the website anyway. Subscribe to the show on iTunes or through the Google Play Store. There's buttons for that. There's also a button to go to the FWOT shop, where you can buy a t-shirt or a hat or a coffee mug. And all the money that we get from that will go to support the Coil Entertainment Network, because we've got some really great shows that you need to be listening to. Check out the Coil Entertainment Network site too, coil.us, coil.us. It's got some cool shows you would be interested in, especially the Two Pages Project. Everyone should be interested in that. Although the new Firefox version does take a while for it to load, because there's a lot of audio on that page. You know what? You'll enjoy it. Check it out. In the meantime, I'm going to leave you with some of the stuff that's happened. It's not entirely good news. It's the metoo movement, which I think is going in the right direction. We're getting a lot of people who are saying this person, fill in the blank, whoever it is, usually it's politicians or entertainers or it could be anybody. They molested me at some point in my life, sexually assaulted me, raped me, whatever. We're finally getting all these reports to come out and say, hey, this happened. Great. I think that's a brilliant idea. The reporting of it, not the act itself. I do have an issue with some of the excruciatingly older complaints, like the one against George Takei, where the guy said George Takei molested me while I was unconscious in 1981. 1981. Dude, that's 36 years ago. And you were unconscious. How do you know? I'm just saying, and I'm bringing that one up as an example. My point is, and my daughters know this, when it happens, it doesn't matter who did it to you. You report it, period. Unless you're my middle daughter who says, I'm going to kick you in the balls first, and then I'll report it. I love my kids. So be careful out there, keep the Me Too movement going, and I'll see you next time.